our health. So Facebook, I want to invite everybody in. Wake up community. How are we doing out there? Woo! I am so fired up. Thank you for being a part of you, stepping in for you. This is all about the wake up community, doing what we need to do for ourselves individually and collectively for our nation as a people. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm going to keep welcoming everyone until we get this party started, because this is such a powerful discussion and I'm excited to be able to be here with you, to moderate it, to host it. So what's going on with your health? What has you stopping in today? Those are the questions that you can begin to answer. Anything that you need to ask it. This is your space. What's going on with your health? What would you like to see go on with your health? Wake up community, welcome. Welcome to our session this morning. Hello, come on in. Welcome to this session this morning. It's such an honor to see this fine brother that just stepped into the house.
Peace and blessing and good morning.
Yes, peace and blessing, angels. Good morning, sisters. This is fantastic. Nice to see all these beautiful faces this morning. I am so fired up this morning. I am so excited just to be in this space to talk about something that's very dear to my heart. And I know it's dear to yours too, right? So welcome, wake up community. Wake up, everybody. I want to sing that song so bad, right? Because I absolutely love that song. Yes, we have to wake up our community, right? To create a new day. And that's what we're talking about today. How to take back control over our health. Is sickness really a choice? Because I know most of us wouldn't choose some stuff if we had a choice, right? So we're going to talk about that today. But we're also going to give you the opportunity to put your voice in the space around issues of concern to you, because that's also important to get some of your questions answered today. But this is all about empowering us to know that sickness does not have to be our option. How powerful is that? How powerful is that? Whew. So wake up, community. My name is Hattie McCutheon. I am a certified holistic practitioner of natural medicine.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning, we're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
No hearing.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Good morning, good morning. Woo. Healing is easy Woo, that's going to be a great discussion, right? Welcome to today's session on sickness. Is it a choice? My name is Hattie McCutheon, and I am a certified holistic practitioner of natural medicine. I am a holistic health coach and nutritionalist. But really, what I am most importantly is a health warrior, because I believe unequivocally that health is truly our God-given birthright. And we are leaving the planet prematurely from diseases that are preventable and reversible. And my quest on this planet is to help our people heal, straight up. My quest on this planet is to help our people live, one family at a time. Because I know we can. And so today is just the beginning of us having a very powerful discussion around how to make that so. Is sickness is a choice? That was the title of this presentation. And I know some of you may have been triggered by that. I know I would be. Because if I was sick, I would not want to feel like I chose that stuff, right? So let's talk about what that means. Is sickness really a choice? And if so, what are you choosing? So this is your opportunity today to put your voice in the space around what's going on with you. And let's see if we can talk it through. So Kenyoko, we good to go, right?
You're on.
I just, so wake up, everybody. I am truly honored to be in this space because you brothers and sisters, you know, every day, just about, there's some powerful discussions going on here. We're having discussions around raising our vibrations, exercise, getting our mental minds right. And so today is just deepening on that same discussion with powerful people who are concerned about making change, not just for themselves, but in the world. So that's why I'm excited to have this discussion. We spend a lot of time as a people. We run to the doctor, I think, more than anybody. I know when growing up as a kid, we never went to the doctor. We need to get back to that. But we never went to the doctor. I mean, you know, yeah, we just never went. My mom did everything for us, right? Luckily, we didn't get sick that much, neither, but going to the doctors was not an option. I recently read an article in the National Institute of Health, big article, where it says your health care may be killing you. This is a government medical department, and they're telling you that your health care may be killing you. We know that the leading cause of death in this country is heart disease, followed by cancer. But what do you think the third leading cause of death is? I really want someone to see if they can answer that for me, because some of you may know, because it's a very important answer. What is the third leading cause of death in the United States? And note that the United States ranks higher in this than any other nation. They outstrip Canada, New Zealand, United Kingdom. The United States is number one in the third leading cause of death. Does anybody know what that might be by any chance?
So I see from the chat, there's obesity, medical malpractice, lung cancer, stress, heart disease. Are any of those that?
Well, no.
Those for no cigar. Okay, keep trying. Cancer, prescription drugs.
Ooh, that's getting there. Because that's a doctor's cost event right there. But yes, the leading.
I'll say iatric causes, doctor.
Yes,
Doctor.
leading cause of death are doctors. This is by the AMA, the American Medical Association. The leading cause of death in the United States is doctor errors. 250, oh, I can't even find my slide. 250 some thousand people are killed every year. That figure is higher than that. Every year by doctor errors. And a lot of that is simply because they don't wash their hands. From going from one room to the other room to the next room. How many of our loved ones were in that number who went to the hospital for supposedly something simple and never came home? I know a number of them. So doctors are the third leading cause of death of adults, but the death of our children is even higher. They say the death of pediatric children under the care of doctors is 3 times higher than that for adults. What the hell are we going to? Seriously, what are we doing? I think if most of us really understood what we were taking ourselves to, as well as our children, we would stop doing it. So the question is, why do we keep going to them? What is this magic that the white coat and the stethoscope have over us? My sister was sick all her life. I don't remember her not being sick. And we go to the doctors to get well. I mean, really, we go to the doctor because we think they're going to make us well. Otherwise, we wouldn't go, right? But we truly believe that that's what they are there to do. That's not the reality, though. That's what we got to wake up to. That's not the reality. My sister went to the doctor for, I don't know, I think high blood pressure. She took some drugs. At the end of the day, my sister had 22 drugs that she took before her passing. And none of them made her well. She just got sicker and sicker. Heart disease, diabetes, osteoporosis of the spine, where she was taller than me. Now she was bent over halfway. She never had a good quality of life. But she's just an example of what millions of us go through. Because I'm sure each of you have someone in your family who is always sick. But they can tell you the drugs that they take like it just comes off their mouth. Oh, I'm taking. Oh, I'm taking. And they seem to be, my sister was so excited about it, I couldn't figure it out. So every evening she would take her drugs, she had a little teeny suitcase, and she would take her drugs out and put them in order. I mean, this is so awesome, right? She just put them all in order and then she began to take them. Even when her doctor said to her, there's nothing else we could do for you, she assumed that that was her reality. And she would say, Lorraine, there ain't nothing. My doctor said there ain't nothing else I could do, so I just got to prepare. That is so hurtful, especially when you know it's not true. My brother, Johnny Cool, I love my brother. He had a massive stroke, 2 of them. So the second stroke left him paralyzed, unable to talk, to walk. He couldn't do anything for himself. I don't know if you have a screen with him on it, Kenyofu. But I lived in Chicago when this happened, and I closed down my holistic practice after 19 years, and I moved back to Philadelphia, where I'm at right now, to help my brother get on the other side of a stroke. So Johnny Cool, so I come home because I know that we can get on the other side of a stroke. There's my handsome brother. Before this picture, as I said, my brother could not walk. He could not talk. My brother's over 200 pounds. And me and my niece was picking him up, taking him, bathing him, the whole 9 yards. I used all my funds to make sure he got the minerals, the vitamins that he needed, the good food that he needed, the things that we all need to do to heal. Within 3 months, this is what my brother looked like. Standing erect, walking, talking. Today, after he got healed, he says to me, I'm a man. I'm not taking these things anymore. Can Yofu show me the next picture? This is what Johnny Cool looks like today. He's having fun eating the sad diet, fried foods, gluten, all of the things that our body temple cannot handle anymore. And as a result, he's asthmatic. He now has heart problems. He's a diabetic, high blood pressure. He's having some issues with his liver. He's showing signs of dementia, and he can barely walk. This is what happens when we do what doctors tell you to do. Eating the standard American diet. It kills us. Now that he can barely move, he's in a discussion around Lorraine. That's my name too. Will you help me? So you can remove that, Kenyofo. Thank you. So basically, this is what I know to be true, brothers and sisters. I work very closely with a doctor who's not only a naturopath, but he's a scientist. He's a pathologist. He has a book in the Smithsonian Institute that outlines over 900 diseases that he has personally reversed and prevented with mineral supplementation. Healing is easy. He says if you give the body what it needs, and you can show Dr. Wallach's picture if you don't mind, if you give the body what it needs and get out of the way, it would do what God intended it to do. And you all know that. That the God has given us a body that is self-healing. You all know that. The question is, at some points, it needs some assistance. We all come here with a certain level of nutrients in our temples, but life strips us of that, which means that if we're not consciously, consistently putting the minerals back into the body, it will break. It's just like your car, right? If you keep driving it without some oil in it or some gas in it, it's going to stop. The engine going to blow out if you don't have no oil in that bad boy. So our well-oiled machine has to be kept oiled up. And what that looks like is plant-derived minerals. This is Dr. Wallach on the screen. He says every man, every woman, and child needs 90, not 1 or 2, not 20 that you may get in Centrum, but 90 essential nutrients just to survive, much less to survive. But to put the odds in our favor to live as long as possible with the highest quality of life, we have to give our body these nutrients every single day. Thanks, Kenyofu. 90 essential nutrients.
Sorry, Hattie, I'm just gonna jump in and suggest that we bring in another voice at this moment.
Yes, please.
Dropped a lot of knowledge, and there's some conversation in the chat. Who would like to come off and share? I'm gonna look in the chat and see what.
Yeah, let me know, because we all have health concerns of some nature, but the most important thing is all we need to do is simple. And I want to share. Go ahead.
Wendy, can you come on and share what your experience is with your doctor and you're not picking up your prescription?
Good morning, everyone. Yes, for the past 3 years, she has been trying to get me on high cholesterol medication or the statin drugs. And what I've read up about that, that might kill me faster than what she claims I have. And I know that I eat very healthy. I don't do a lot of fried foods, fast foods. I've stopped eating red meat over 30 years. I exercise, I'm active, I don't feel sick. So there must be something with the interpretation of high cholesterol in people of color. I don't know if it's different for us than the people who they do the tests on, but I am not taking any statin drugs, so I refuse to even pick them up at the health at the pharmacy. Then when she didn't get through with that, the next thing was borderline diabetes, high blood pressure, and I just listen to her report and adjust my diet to suit, because I know that I don't eat unhealthy. So something else is, I don't know what's wrong, but I don't feel ill. And I did study nutrition, so I feel that my lifestyle is pretty healthy. So I don't know what cutbacks she's looking for, but it's not going to come from me. I am complete.
Good. I am so glad that you refuse to take statins
Yeah.
because, well, first of all, well, let me just deal with the statins first. No one should take them.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone is on them, they should get off of them. That is one of the drugs that you can get off of. So statins are designed like you know, to lower the cholesterol in your body. The body makes cholesterol because it needs it. It's essential. Our brain, the myelin in our brain is 100% cholesterol. So when we start taking statin drugs, the first place that loses it is here. And since the invention of statin drugs, we've seen an increase in Alzheimer's and dementias in a way that has never been seen more than 40, 50 years ago. That's because of statins. So Alzheimer's, dementia, is the doctor created disease. So the other thing about cholesterol, I don't know what your cholesterol is, but most doctors want it to be under like 100. That will kill you. And that's what's happening to us. Because your hormones are run by cholesterol. How many men do we know that have erectile dysfunction? Does anybody? ED basically means that your hormone level is so freaking low, circulation-wise, the whole 9 yards, but cholesterol, these statins have a big part in the increase of our brothers having ED. So it's probably one of the worst drugs it's one of the worst drugs we can take. So yes, but high blood pressure, diabetes, it's all nutritional. Most people that have high blood pressure because they have a deficiency in calcium, simple, easy fix, right? We can take some calcium, right? The other thing that it could be, if high blood pressure, if there's a blockage someplace in the kidneys that's preventing the blood from going from the heart through the kidney. This is a simple thing. Okay, and diabetes is also a mineral deficiency. People that have diabetes, it's like there's a couple minerals that's missing. When you replace those minerals, you could be an ex-diabetic in 30 days. How awesome is that? When most of us spend, 20, 30 plus years being a diabetic to the point of losing their limbs, when all it is simple mineral deficiency. Are you kidding me? So, I got on this quest because my mother died when I was 7, and she gave me a doctor's kit. Every Christmas, I kept getting a new one. And we kept having hospitals, and everybody that came to my hospital went home. And so in my mind's eye, I was like, if you go to the hospital, you're supposed to come home. And what I learned was that she died of an aneurysm. And what I learned that is a mineral deficiency of copper. And when I learned that, when I went to school to become a naturopath, when I learned that, it broke my heart all over again. Because how do you lose somebody that freaking important to you over something so simple? But that's what we're doing, brothers and sisters. We're losing our loved ones over something just that freaking simple. So if we can give our bodies the minerals that it needs and just get out of the way, right? And let it do what it do with the help of the creator, we're gonna live long, prosperous, healthy lives. Healing is easy. It's the sickness that is hard. Did any other questions come up, Kenyofu? Or Wendy, were you complete, honey?
Yes, I was. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, there's not a question, but a comment right now from Kaisha from Facebook. She says, I spent the weekend with my grandmother. My grandma takes 10 medications 2 times a day currently. She does exactly what Miss Hattie described of her sister. Count out her pills to prepare to take them when she wakes up and goes to bed. I blame the doctors. Jacqueline asked, what are the minerals? And Wendy says she's currently seeking a naturopath doctor in Atlanta so she can feel safe.
Okay. Well, there are 60 minerals, and I had a slide with all of them, but it was so tiny you couldn't see them. But on my website, Hattie M, HATTIEM, as in Mary.com, HattieM.com, they're all there. They're all there. And Aisha, I don't know how old your grandmother is, because we get younger now. But it doesn't matter, right? Taking these minerals is something we should take before we get pregnant to ensure that we have no birth defects, whether it be autism, Down syndrome, it don't matter. If our sisters are taking these minerals before pregnancy, we're gonna have some geniuses up in here, okay? And we're not gonna worry about no birth defects, which is on the rise. Even in our senior years, I don't care if you're in the hundreds, our body still needs the minerals. And the longer we live on the planet, the more we need the minerals. And we find that in countries that have 100-year-olds, they have an environment where minerals are plentiful in the soil and in the water. Unfortunately, since the 30s in this country, the soil is so depleted of nutrition that there's no minerals. They put 3 minerals in the soil, but our body needs 60. So even though you are eating a good diet, right? Good food, even organic food, you're not getting the 60 minerals that you need, which is the only reason why we have to supplement them. And that's one of the things that I love about Dr. Wallach, because this dude, he started out as a farmer, right? And as farmers can't afford for their animals to be getting sick, right? So they learned early on that you have to give them nutrition so that they don't get heart attacks like humans, because they do, or they don't get diabetes, because they will, or they don't have strokes or have aneurysm, all of which they do, because we're all mammals. And all mammals need the same thing, 60 minerals. So they learned early on to feed their animals what they needed so that they didn't get sick because they couldn't afford it. And then he went on to become a veterinarian. He went to Africa. Most of the zoos today, animals are thriving because of him. So I was going someplace with that, but that's okay. But my point is, we know that just this simple tweak of adding minerals to your diet would take the worry out of you worrying about when you're gonna get sick. Because we spend our times like that, right? When am I gonna have a stroke? Am I gonna have a heart attack? Am I gonna get cancer? I don't worry about any of that, because I know I'm giving my body what it needs, right? So that's the last thing on my agenda, which means I can spend my time thinking about something else, something more happier that serves me, right? So that's the key to longevity. That's our key. And Dr. Wallach we have a product called the Mighty 90. Make a drink in the morning, in the afternoon, and keep it moving. That's easy. We can all do that. Any other questions or health concerns? Kenyofu?
Yes, Jacqueline says, my mother is on a 3-4 medicines daily.
Oh.
She was taking about 8 when I made her switch doctors. The doctor I sent her to was my old family physician, and I let the doctor know that I did not want my mother to be on a lot of medication. I saw her go from metformin for diabetes to a statin for increased cholesterol, and then to high blood pressure medicines. Everyone I know that took the diabetes drugs graduated to the other 2 type of meds. I was specifically asking about the mineral deficiency for diabetes. Maybe, Jacqueline, you can come off and share some more.
You kind of put it all there in a nutshell. Everybody, my diabetes tends to run in my family, so they say. And I am also diagnosed as diabetes. My A1C has been coming down lately, but I asked them to do other tests because I know that due to my thalassemia, my A1C might be elevated. Anyway, so I refused to take metformin, and I did have a family, I forgot who it was, a nurse practitioner, or whoever it was that was in place with my doctor one day, called my house and was very upset because I wouldn't pick up the medication. He's like, you haven't picked up the medication. I said, you're actually calling the pharmacy to see if I picked up the medication. Are you serious? No, I'm not taking that medicine. I already told you that. And don't call me about it again. So he has not, but it was just being push. But every person I know with diabetes that took metformin wound up having to take a statin and then having to take high blood pressure medication. And I was like, I am not going down that road. There has to be something else. And I had a doctor who was more of a holistic type doctor who retired, and he knew that I was averse to medication. So he never suggested the medication to me. He always told me different ways in which I could lower my A1C or whatever issue I was having at the time. So I am still in the fight. And that's why I'm trying to find out what the minerals are that I could take, because I did do a detox recently and my A1C has been coming down. And I want to continue on that path, but I was very disturbed that they did not know that my thalassemia might give a wrong reading in the A1C. I researched that myself. So that was, I was very concerned. And I'm like, as a teacher, we are required to do professional development every year. So I don't understand these doctors not having to, do the same kind of, professional development.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they don't know nutrition.
Right.
Allopathic medicine was really created on the battlefield, right? World War I, II, where in an emergency, you had to figure out how to reconnect somebody's arm or leg or stop them from bleeding, right? And that's what they're good at. Oh my goodness, if you ever get shot, get stabbed, they're the right people to go to, okay? But they know nothing about nutrition, so they know nothing about healing. They truly don't know, because that wasn't what they were taught. What they was taught was if you got a symptom, there's a drug, right? But all the drugs, have side effects, which causes some more dis-ease. That's why we have to take control over our own health, because they don't know. And a lot of them are leaving their profession, becoming naturopaths because they want to know, because they really want to help people. Their desk reference book is over 3,000 drugs in there, 3,500 drugs, and none of them heal. None of them heal. Okay, maybe with the exception of, 2, and that's the antibiotics and penicillin. And even with the antibiotics, 1 day of taking an antibiotic shuts your immune system down for 2 whole weeks. 2 weeks, your immune system is shut down, which means you are susceptible. And we don't take it for just 1 day. We have to take them, what they say, for at least 2 weeks. And a lot of us stay on antibiotics, which means our immune system stay compromised, which makes you susceptible to any and all kinds of things. So I want to talk about that. But there's a book that Dr. Wallach has called Black Genes Lies. This book was Clifford Dollar paid to have this book created because Clifford Dollar's daughter was given 2 weeks to live. She was 13 at the time. Doctors said there's nothing we could do for her. Her asthma is just so over the top. There's just nothing we can do. She's not responding to anything. So take her home, get her affairs in order. Clifford Dollar called Andrew Young, civil rights leader. He worked with Dr. Wallach. Dr. Wallach rebuilt his knees, kept him from having to go in and have knee surgery, which he was slated to do. He worked with Dr. Wallach for 90 days. He's never had to have his knees replaced. It's not an option, brothers and sisters. We can do it naturally. So he introduces Dr. Wallach to Clifford Dollar. And Clifford was like, well, I don't get it. He said, the doctor just told me there's nothing I could do for her, that she's gonna die. And he says, you're right. If you don't do nothing, she will die. He says, but give me some time and we can see what we can do. That young lady is in her 30s today. Just simply by taking these minerals and nutrients, getting off of gluten, because that's what's jacking up our immune system. Gluten is jacking up our immune system so that our bodies don't function the way it's supposed to function. It keeps us inflamed, so we're constantly sick. So autoimmune diseases is like popping up like crazy. Every time you go, oh, you have an autoimmune. That just simply means they don't know what the hell you got, but they do know your body is inflamed. And the starting point for that is gluten, for real, for real. So in this book, Black Gene Lies, Dr. Wallach just outlined all the stuff that doctors tell you that's genetic to prove to you that it's not. So that's a good book to get. So none of this stuff is genetic. High blood pressure is not genetic to Black people. It's environmental because we all eat alike, right? But the two minerals, because I know you're like, well, what are those minerals? The two minerals that's missing for diabetics is vanadium and cadmium and vanadium. And this is the thing about minerals, which is why a lot of times I don't tell people what the mineral is that's missing because they want to run out and get that one. But you know that I know our bodies are holistic. Everything works in tandem. Vitamins that you take don't work unless you're taking the mineral cofactors, right? Everything has to be balanced in the temple. That's why we have one drink you can take in the morning. That's all balanced. Every mineral, every vitamin, every amino acid, every probiotic, 215 superfruits, everything you need is in it. I did have a picture, but anyway, I digress. I should have kept it. But yes, you start taking the minerals within a month, you be good. You be good, sis. You know, don't even sweat it. Because we don't want to sweat no way, right? Because that just makes the body sick anyway when you start being tense.
Thank you. Listen, if I could have something that I can drink, because I try to eat my way to health, and it's difficult because I can't get everything I need in my diet.
Exactly.
If I could find a supplement like that I could drink, that would be perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome, sister. Yeah, and see a lot of things that we do is virtual. So you don't have to be physical, but if you are, we have a physical center here in Philly, but a lot of what I do is also virtual. Are there any other questions out there, Kenyofo?
So yes, so Teresa has her hand up. Teresa Scott.
One of the things that I've been dealing with is that my health insurance, I had said this before, that the health insurance is telling my doctor to give me like those statins, different things because of me having blood pressure issues and stuff. And so recently I was having a problem with my blood pressure, but for some reason I felt like my pressure wasn't high. And when I went to the doctor yesterday, it wasn't high. So what I realized that my blood pressure machine that I've been using is giving me a false reading. But I just like Teresa, don't, like I did start taking back, my blood pressure medicine, but I noticed that since I started taking it, it was bothering me. So I have to, get back off it. But I thought my blood pressure was high, but it wasn't high. It was my blood pressure machine. So a lot of things like that you don't know. Yeah. But the doctors are actually, the medical insurance is actually suggesting you go on medication and even like I was recently dealing with, they think that I had stage 3 cancer, and I didn't. And when I told the doctor yesterday, she was like, "Well, what you gonna do about it?" I let them talk because I know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna be doing all these different things that they want to do with my body because this is my body. And since COVID, I learned a lot of things about doctors that I really did not. That I probably knew, but I was just like the realistic of what they're trying to do to us. And I feel like some of these doctors are trying to kill us. And so I'm not gonna, continue to allow them to kill me. So I've cut back on a lot of things and eating better, but I have to get back out and start doing exercise. So I'm gonna sign up for the pool this week and get to working. But they will kill you if they can. That I do know. And so I'm just
They're
trying to
doing a
live.
good job of it. So thank you, sis Teresa.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, do you we take high blood pressure meds, right? The majority of us. And when you're taking a high blood pressure medication, the fact that when your blood pressure gets elevated, that's a sign. That's a sign that there's something going on in the temple that's not allowing the blood to flow easily and effortlessly, right? There's something blocking that natural flow. So the heart pumps harder to force the blood through, even though it's having this blockage. So then you take a blood pressure med, right? It lowers down the heart, which means the heart can't do what it's supposed to do. It can't beat harder to force it through. So all we're doing is making the heart work twice as hard now, which is why people have heart attacks, more heart attacks. So again, high blood pressure is simply a sign of a serious calcium deficiency. We can take some calcium and get on the other side of that, right? Or there's a blockage someplace going towards the kidneys. Again, it's an easy fix. So I would simply recommend that you just start taking the minerals and just get out the way and let it and God do what it's supposed to do. The other thing is, doctors, they wanted to put statins in the water because they was like, everybody needs to take a statin drug. It's almost what they did with fluoride. Fluoride is not good for you. I mean, doctors keep saying it's good for your teeth, but the facts show otherwise. But they were talking about putting statins in the water to ensure that everybody got it, because what we're dealing with is an industry that's all about the dollar bill. They wanted to put a chip in people so as to ensure you took your meds. I think Teresa was saying how they were calling her on the phone. Well, they want to put a chip in you too, so that when you're not taking your meds, because that's money for them, right? You're not taking your meds, you're denying them sending their kids to college. So they wanted to put a chip so that if you weren't taking your meds, they could do something so you would feel it. It would burn or do something. So you'd be like, whew, I gotta take my meds. Which is why I know we all got our own opinions about the COVID thing, and just have any questions, we can take them up. But this is the thing, any disease. I don't care if it's COVID, the Spanish flu, or this new variant of COVID that's coming out, that's out now. Strengthening your immune system is your lifesaver. People with the vaccinations are dying, and they're getting this new strand of COVID because their immune systems are jacked, which basically means they give you this vaccination, right? Its job is designed to have your immune system respond, to build antibodies against the stuff that's in the vaccine. Because the overwhelming majority of us have an immune system that don't work, it can't respond. It doesn't respond because it's too weak to respond. Thus, we get sick and we die. So what we're talking about here, when I talk about saving lives, what I'm talking about is giving your body the nutrition that will build, strengthen your immune system so it can do the work that God intended it to do. Most of our people, because our immune system is so weak, we're not making red blood cells. We're not making white blood cells that's designed to fight anything that comes into your temple. We're not making them because our immune system is too weak. But all that can be turned around by simply nourishing the body's temple. Every organ, every gland needs a certain mineral for it to fire. So why not do it? Why not give it to it? 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. And it comes in a ready-made kit. Take it in the morning and keep it moving.
So Hattie, I have comments and questions from Facebook for you.
Oh, yes.
So Sienna Robinson says, I'm in her voice, yo, I'm having so many adverse reactions from antibiotics the dentist just prescribed me. I completed the dosage, and now I am detoxing. Had headaches, crazy dry skin, and now yeast. Shaking my head. Haven't had to take antibiotics in years. Thus, they had to be the obvious cause.
Mm-hmm. Why is she taking antibiotics?
A dentist. She went to the dentist, and so
She had an infection.
Mm-hmm. So of course I told her probiotics.
Yeah, the other thing I would recommend is for infections, colloidal silver. A good source of colloidal silver. I take it every day. I take it every day just to make sure nothing comes my way. But colloidal silver is like a natural antibiotic. It's safe even for infants. And it just helps to strengthen the temple. But there's also something called kilobiotics, which is a natural herb that we have, that instead of taking those antibiotics, you can take the kilobiotic, which will do the same thing, get rid of the infection, but it will not compromise your immune system. So yeah, so and then calcium, that's a calcium deficiency too. That's a calcium, tooth decay is a calcium deficiency. So when we start giving the body what it needs, like sisters have vertigo, right? Tooth decay, vitiligo, pain in the jaws. I mean, there's so many different calcium. There's like 121 different diseases that you get just by being a calcium deficient. Sciatica, calcium deficiency. It's amazing how easy healing is when you recognize that everything that goes wrong in your body is not because you need a drug. It's not because you need a surgery. It's not because you have a bad gene. Simply that you don't have the nutrition in your body. So let's put it back in there. It's called the Mighty 90. It's called the minerals. That's the fuel that your body runs on.
Okay, so that was Jenny Lyon's question. What was the minerals called? So you said it's called the Mighty 90?
Oh, yes, we call it the Mighty 90, or we call it the Healthy Body Start Pack. If people go on my website, you can read all about it.
Okay, and then Deborah McKinney asks, will the minerals help for someone with Alzheimer's disease?
Yes, unequivocally yes. You know, it's interesting. Dr. Wallach shares a story about a brother who was in a fetal position. I mean, for like years, in a fetal position. They had to feed him through tubes, whole 9 yards. And then finally the doctors was like, look, you know, enough is enough. We should just let him go. And then his sister heard about Dr. Wallach and she reached out to him. I think within 2 months. She calls Dr. Wallach screaming on the phone that she can't find her brother. This dude then got up out of bed, got dressed, went to the bank that he thought he was still working at. Because yes, we can get on the other side. We can get on the other side of any dis-ease as long as we get it, you know what I mean, in time. But even still, anytime a doctor says there's nothing they can do, is always something that a naturopath can do. There's always something. So yes, but the big part of it is cholesterol. Get them off of statin drugs. Cholesterol meaning eggs. That's the best form of cholesterol, whole food. To rebuild the myelin in the brain so that the connective tissues begin to refire again. Taking the Mighty 90 and maybe some other herbs to help the body start speaking to itself. But yes, we don't have to leave here from dementia and Alzheimer's. And it breaks my heart because so many of us are getting it, right? And then our kids be like, oh, well, you know, they got dementia, oh, they got Alzheimer's, oh, there ain't nothing you can do. Even if you can't reverse it, giving them the minerals helps them go through it easier. Because it's painful going through Alzheimer's. People thinking you're just losing your freaking memory. No, it's a lot more than that. You lose your memory, now you scared as hell because you don't know who these people are in your house telling you what to do. That's why people be running away. And it's painful. So it is definitely able to be reversed if we give the temple what it needs and stop feeding it the foods that's compromising the temple. That's all. Give me what I need, take out what I don't. How about that? Right? So yes.
I have three more questions. Two hands raised. The chat is popping. This is a fiery, powerful conversation, Hattie, bringing it powerfully, and we thank you. And since it's 7:52, I want to acknowledge some people that may leave, be having to leave at 8 o'clock. And then I'll bring in the two questions or the three questions and the two hand raise.
Ashe. Wow, I'm so, you know, having a team is like it. So thank you, sis, for bringing me aware to the time. So anyone that has to leave, listen, thank you so very much. I would just ask that you reach out to me. My number is 773-704-6651. With any questions you might have, any concerns, and we can continue this discussion because don't let it stop. Not just for you, but for your family's sake, we have to find a way to take this discussion. And my whole thing is everybody needs to become health warriors. So call me, 773-704-6651. Because sickness could stop with you today. 773-704-6651. So let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. So yeah, so thank you for stopping by. So
Awesome.
did you want to ask some questions, sis?
Yes. So one question was, what is there, can we discuss autoimmune disease and neurology disorders? And I'm just going to stack them up for you. The next question was, what's your perspective on vegan or plant-based diets, and should it be the general diet of all humans? And the last question was, can diabetes be reversed?
Okay. The first question, all disease can be reversed. All disease can be reversed, but more importantly, it can be prevented. That's the space we want to be in, is preventing it. But yes, it can all be reversed with eating the best quality of foods, which means nothing processed. You know, ham and bacon is processed meats. Hot dogs, we know that causes cancer. We still feed it to our kids. So the key thing is taking out the foods that harm the body's temple. Wheat, barley, rye, oats, genetically modified soy, corn, fried foods, processed foods. There's like 12 bad foods that we think everybody should stay away from. So I'm just going to encourage everybody to text me, and I'll send you that list of 12 bad foods just to stay the hell away from, for real.
Can we
12 bad.
post that list in our Facebook group?
Oh, yes, and it's a video, so it'd be entertaining too. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Session.
And
Or
and that's the key. That's the heart of autoimmune diseases. So thank you, sis, for raising that question, because I wanted to talk about that. Autoimmune diseases are a byproduct of our digestive system being compromised. We always say everything begins in the gut, right? Everything begins in the colon. Never been truer. And what that looks like is anything that we eat, when it gets down into the stomach, there's certain things the body has to do right then in terms of changing whatever you eat into different minerals, vitamins. One goes here, one goes wherever. It's a really intricate process, but the body knows what it's doing. But most of us, when food gets into our stomach, it just sits there because our stomach acids it's not strong enough. That's why we have the burping, the acid reflux, and then we wind up having cancer of the esophagus because doctors give you Tums because they don't understand. They tell you that it's too much acid, but really it's not enough acid. But in any event, what we are finding is that your digestive system is like a really tight woven web. And it's just an inch thick. It's amazing. But because of the advent of gluten, which is genetically modified, the molecules of these foods are so big that they're punching holes all the way through our gut, punching holes through it. So now when stuff goes in your temple, you got stuff going through that ain't supposed to go through. And your body reacts to it, right? It sends the army, every place in the body where it is, to fight it. Autoimmune says that your body is fighting against itself because the body sees foreign invaders, gluten, molecules that should not be directly absorbed into your bloodstream. And your body is freaking the hell out. And so people have autoimmune diseases. It could be anywhere, right? It could attack any part of the body, but it's very, very painful. So at the heart of dealing with an autoimmune disease is at the heart of strengthening the gut, right? To rebuild the gut lining so that stuffuses don't come through. But at the same time, you got to stop eating gluten, right? All the breads, all the pastas, right? You got to start eating like an Asian, right? But they have a lot of gluten-free stuff, but you got to be careful with that stuff because most of it is full of oils, so it's not good for you. But at the end of the day, we just got to stop eating foods that are causing the problems in the temple. And then you got to feed the body the minerals that it needs, because that's what will heal the gut. The minerals and the vitamins is what will heal the gut. So it's a two-pronged piece. You got to take the minerals and the vitamins so that now the body can rebuild, and then you got to stop eating the foods that compromise the health. Easy. It's easy, but it's not always easy because the foods that we've been eating jacks up our mind. They're full of chemicals, which is designed to make you crave them, right? It's like being a junkie. Sometimes now it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta have this chocolate. I gotta have these chips. The food is designed to make you crave it. It's by design. So part of what I do in my practice is besides simply providing what's needed, I also have to provide coaching around how to build this muscle to do something we're not used to doing. right? One sister was talking about how, and I want you to do this, to go do some exercise, but this is what I know to be true. Exercise without supplementation is suicide. Athletes die in the prime of their lives because they sweat out all their minerals and they don't put them back in. Thousands of babies die every day on the basketball court. They just drop dead. Doctors say, oh, their heart was enlarged. No, because they had a mineral deficiency of selenium. Exercise is important because your body needs to move, but you got to make sure you're giving the body what it needs. So when it gets to moving for you, right, it has enough minerals in it to keep it firing. Carefully, oh, and the vegan, vegans die just like carnivores. A plant-based diet is great because it doesn't tax the body's temple as much as meat does. But just saying you are in a plant-based diet, vegan diet, I think is awesome. But is it the key? No. Why? Because fruits and vegetables don't have minerals in them, right? So if you're just thinking you're eating veggies and some kale, and which is good, and you're eating all the right things, you're not doing the bad things, you're still not feeding your temple. Vegans die just as much as carnivores. One, because they eat a lot of oil, which is toxic. They fry every darn thing, which is toxic, even though they find veggies. They just killing it. So at the end of the day, eat all the vegetables we can eat because it's good for you, right? Just don't kill it. All the nutrients, the enzymes that's in it, right? Don't fry it. Because not only are you killing everything in it, but you're creating, I always get the, Kyle, anyway, you create this, this chemical that is carcinogenic, right? People that eat their meat well done shouldn't do that. Again, because the more you heat up this stuff, you're creating chemicals inside of it that causes cancer. So if you're going to eat the meat, eat it medium, right? Not well done. But at the end of the day, whatever we do, we have to do the minerals. We have to do the minerals. There's too many cases of serious athletes, joggers, runners, don't matter. Ballerinas, don't matter, who work their temples, which is awesome. But if you don't replace the sweat, which is not water, it's not Gatorade, but it's minerals. If you don't replace it back, the body's gonna break. And that's what we're here to stop. Let's stop breaking. Let's simply feed the body what God put herbs on this planet for us to take to help us stay healthy. Living to 150, the Mayo Clinic says, is a normality. Everybody should be living to 150, 155. We have that potential. Some of us live in our 200s, but most of us are leaving 90 years on the table because we're leaving here in our 50s and our 60s. We're developing a culture that says when we get 50, we start preparing to die. No, when we get in our 50s and our 60s, that's when the hell we should be living. Why? Because we done made all the mistakes, right? Now it's time to give back. Give back the lessons that we've learned to our babies. So leaving this planet in our 50s and our 60s is like, it's like the worst thing on the planet we can do. We haven't got time for that. And we don't have to be about that. We're supposed to live long, healthy, thriving, prosperous lives. That we can do when we have some good health. And then you can think, right? So I know it's 8 o'clock. And
so yes, we have 2 hands raised. And since we heard from Wendy, let's start with Adam Epps first. And Adam, if you could come off mute and ask or make your question or comment.
Hello, Adam. I can't hear.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes. Awesome.
Okay. I'm just want to say that I'm very happy that we're having this conversation because I believe another reason why a lot of our people are in bad health is what our youth is being what are being advertised on a daily basis in terms of what we listen to or what shows we're watching. And I want to bring that up because technology could be the most dangerous commodity, and I believe it is because a lot of our children and a lot of our youth are also watching or listening to certain music and shows that are also detrimental to our health, and it also takes us out of what you're advertising on this episode, which is putting all the minerals into your body. So I just want to bring that up from my perspective as a millennial.
Well, everything we feed our mind impacts our temple. So we always got to be conscious of what's going on in our babies' minds. My grand niece, she stays with me sometime, and as soon as she wakes up, she turns on the TV. Now, my TV is very seldom on, and I just don't like the noise. But in any event, I say to her, I said, sis, before you just turn on the TV in the morning, because you don't have time to think, right? You turn it on, you get all that madness, all that noise, right? So we have to be mindful of what's going on in our babies' minds. I'm gonna certainly agree with you on that. The other thing is the foods that our babies eat impact their minds, just like it impacts ours. And when I worked in the school system, our babies had Coke and hot fries. That was their breakfast. Not an option. That just destroys the brain cells, right? And then you want to know why they are hyper. Why they want to go to sleep in class. So there are a number of things that we have to be aware of as a community. And that's a big one, because the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, told us a few years ago that our babies will not live as long as us. Who makes that kind of statement? If someone said to you that baby cubs will no longer outlive their parents, I think the world would be enraged. Like, how does that happen? But nobody is speaking about the fact that our babies, our future, is slated not to live as long as we are. What the hell is happening that becomes a reality? And it has to do with the foods that they are putting in our mouths, the foods that they know are poisoned and that's designed to kill us, which is why we are at choice. Every time we pick up that fork, we're either healing the temple or we're killing the temple. Every time you pick up a fork, ask yourself, what is it doing? Because that's where it begins. That's where it begins. It's like every time I go to a party, we have family get-togethers, and everything on the table destroys the gut. But there are other ways. We can fix macaroni and cheese where it don't hurt us, right? There's no salads on the table. So we just have, this is just the beginning of a very powerful discussion, because we are in control. That's why I say sickness is a choice. When we know better, we must do better. We know that we live in a society that has historically been about destroying our nation. And they're doing it very well with food. So we have to be a choice. Dr. Adams, he's a psychologist. A lot of our babies are being diagnosed as HGAD, right? And they're being given drugs. Over 50% of our babies are on drugs. Who does that? You wouldn't allow them to drug up all the baby cubs. But we are allowing our babies to be drugged, which is destroying their minds. Another reason why we have to get these minerals in our babies to counteract the radiation, to counteract all the food, to counteract all the negativity. Give them something to strengthen their bodies and their minds so that they can deal with the world. We talk about us being stressed, and I know we stress, right? But our babies are even more stressed. Why? Because their little minds are not supposed to go through the stuff that we go through as adults, but they do, because parents take their kids through their drama. Whatever the adults are going through, the kids is going through right along with them. But they don't have the ability to understand how to handle all that stuff. So what we're talking about today is going to save our families and our nation. Simply supplement. Give us the strength, the fortification to respond to the things that's coming at us in a positive way. Give us the strength to stand tall. That's why you got to keep the temple strong. And what I know does just that. What, any other questions, sis?
Sure. Well, Wendy has a comment or question. So let's bring Wendy on and spotlight her.
I'm in tears right now because that's exactly what I was waiting to ask about. My 7-year-old grandson. I visited him for his 7th birthday in June. And my son told me that the doctor said he's borderline diabetic. First of all, I noticed he had gained a lot of weight. And he's borderline diabetic. And he has high cholesterol. Ever since he was born and I started visiting them, I've been checking their pantry and telling them they're feeding these kids junk food. And actually, when he told me that, I had a meltdown and a blowout. And I promised not to visit again because his wife is so doggone stubborn. She doesn't want to listen, and she's throwing words at me, or want to tell me how, report me to the authorities, and all kind of crap. But I am trying to help save the child's life. I love my grandson, and the only time he eats healthy is when he visits with me. Now he doesn't want to come because he doesn't want to eat what I give him. And I'm just so, I actually saw what was going to happen before it happened. I kept every year I would visit, I told them everything in a box and a can. Even the doggone fries frozen and stuck in the microwave, but just crap. And it really got me mad, and I had a terrible blowout. So what I want to ask is, how can I help? Could I report her? Because she's killing the child. That's how I feel. If you're being so doggone stubborn, and I'm telling you, and instead you're picking a argument with me and throwing words at me for trying to save my grandson's life. And she herself needs to eat healthy. She's overweight and she is just, and my son is not exercising his authority. I told him, throw the damn stuff out of the pantry and just buy whole food. So could I get for him those minerals you talk about? What can I do? They're in Texas, I'm in Atlanta. But what can I do to help him?
I feel you. Because I'm right there with you. And because my nieces and nephews are all obese, beautiful babies. One of them, he's 10 now. He loves playing basketball. But it's so hard on him because he can't breathe because he's so overweight. And they just say, don't, just keep going, you got it. Until he don't have it. So this is what I know. The only way to get your daughter-in-law to hear you is that you have to be at peace with her. Now, hear me. Listen, it's easier not to. I get it. But she'll never hear you unless you can find a way to seriously speak to her spirit, not her humanity. See, right now you're speaking to her humanity, which means she just goes off the handle. She can't hear nothing you say. But see, the part of this work is learning to speak to people's spirit, because that's where we're all one. That's what we can hear. Now, we have like a kid's toddy, tastes like strawberries. They got another flavor, so kids love it. He can drink the whole damn bottle and it won't hurt him, right? But it'll help them. But once they start taking these minerals, they lose their cravings for the junk. See, that's how people who in my business lose weight real fast, because they start taking the minerals, they start losing the cravings. You start losing the cravings, you want something different. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend that, you get a bottle of something he can just take. We have these things called root beer sprinkles. You may be able to remember this. Remember back in the day we had the straws, and we just. But that's what these root beer sprinkles is like. You just do it like this, and it tastes freaking good. But it's so perfect for the digestive system. So it'll help him begin to lose weight. It will strengthen his digestive system. But most importantly, we have something called herbal rainforest. It tastes so good. But
do you carry these products? Do you?
Yes, I do. So you call me and we'll work out something specifically for you.
Okay.
For your grandson.
Thank you.
But you're on the right track. The key thing is you want to speak to your granddaughter in love.
That's what I have been doing until last visit.
You couldn't take it no more. Before my sister passed, and oh my God, I love my sister, but she was just like so it was just so much negativity. And so every time I went to her house, I got to the point where I realized I said, I just I cannot go see my babies. I cannot go see my sister, but I got to find a way that I'm not stressed when I do. So as I began to learn more about speaking to her spirit and not her humanity, before I would go to her door, ring her bell, I would say, God, all I want is be in a space of love, just a space of love and peace. And it's amazing. When she opened the door, she was like, oh, Lorraine. And she would grab me and hug me, which is something she don't do, right? She would grab me and hug me. How you doing? How you doing? And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go with it, right? But it made a difference. When I shifted my energy, where I wasn't all tense and all up in my humanity around what she ain't doing, but when I got peaceful about, oh my gosh, I love her and that's what I want, my energy impacted her energy. See what I'm saying? And now we can talk. Now we can be. So yeah, we can help you make some popsicles for the baby. So he got some treats, healthy treats, right? Because that's what I do. I take my herbs and I make them and I freeze them. And everybody, oh, hi, Lorraine, you got any more of that popsicle? Oh, hi, Lorraine, can I get some of this? Oh, hi, Lorraine. And I love it. Because now they're getting treats, but they're getting treated. So yeah, so we can definitely call me and we can work out something specifically for you and your baby.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sis. Because this is the work.
Yeah.
See, this is why we can't leave here, right? This is the work. That's why we got to stay on the planet so we can help our babies.
So from Facebook, we have a question from Jenny Lyons asking, is there anything for heart arrhythmia? She said these beta blockers medicines are not working. She suffers from high anxiety that has her heart racing. And then we have Veronica's hand raised after you answer that.
You want to take Veronica so I can take them both?
Sure, you can take them both. Go ahead, Veronica. Come off mute.
Good morning. This is so timely. I have two questions really quick. Number one, my grandson and my granddaughter also gained a lot of weight over the last year and a half with COVID. Mm-hmm. And my granddaughter, who's 6, is developing very rapidly. What is the underarm odor? You know, how do we reverse that? And my daughter does listen to me, but she called me yesterday and we were trying to figure out, well, what to do. And I said, well, you need a good doctor that will do the blood work, that would, and here you showed up today. I am
divine order. I love it.
So grateful. But what is causing this? Is it chicken? What is it?
See, you know what it is. Go ahead and say it.
Chicken, meat.
Yeah. Two things. The majority of the antibiotics that are produced in this world go to animals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they are pumped up with all kinds of estrogens. Our babies are eating, and they're getting it in the food.
Yeah.
Right? That's why you got the body odor, you got the breast disease, even men are developing breasts because of the chemicals in the food. So yeah, we need to pull her back a little bit on the meats.
Mm-hmm.
Better yet, we need to eat really good meat, grass-fed meats if you're going to eat it, organic meats, right? Okay. Because most of the meat you get straight up, it's like roadkill. When they ground up hamburger meat, you don't know what the hell's in that stuff.
Yeah.
It's cancer. It's like animals that had cancer, animals that's sick. I mean, listen, every time I see it in the store, I'm not eating it. It looks good. Mm-hmm. It looks like it's healthy, but you don't know what's in it. So if I want some meat nowadays, I'll go to the butcher and have them straight up. Give me
So right now I'm on your website, right? I am been for the last 12 years. I was a breast cancer survivor. I am a breast cancer survivor.
Right.
The last 12 years, I've been taking fish oil, resveratrol, D3, probiotic, a daily women's vitamin, vitamin C, B12. I take a B12 shot every 2 weeks, NAC. And
you take a B12 shot?
I take a B12 shot every 2 weeks.
Why?
Because I had a history of anemia.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that I wasn't processing the iron properly. And when I started taking the B12, it helped me sleep through the night. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, my doctor said it's mind over matter. He says it's just but I believe that the B12 helps me.
Mm-hmm. B12 is important.
Yes. So which one of your packs can I reduce all of this stuff that I'm taking?
Yes. That's a good thing about the packs. It's like you don't need, it's like, mm-hmm. It heals the entire temple.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Veronica, right?
Yes.
So, Veronica, you can go and do whatever, but I would recommend that, well, any pack you get is going to be helpful. So let me just leave it there. But if you wanted to have a little more consultation, you can just pick up the phone.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So it's your choice.
All right. But I have no high blood pressure, no diabetes,
Perfect.
No cholesterol, none of those things. But I've always been so
minerals.
I'm not taking minerals.
No,
I was off the minerals and daily vitamin.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you need the minerals.
I need the minerals.
Right. You have to have, there's 60 minerals our body has to have. You might be taking 5 maybe, or 10. So you're still 50 short.
I see.
Missing any one mineral can cause 10 or more diseases. So you don't want to miss none of them.
Okay.
So that's how you get the peace of mind. When you know you're taking all of them, you sit back and chill, because I got my temple covered, right?
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Those are really important. And there's something called urban rainforest that I would recommend you get for her.
Okay.
Because she needs to do a detox, and there's 16 herbs in there that will begin to help to detox her temple. At the same time, feeding her all the minerals and vitamins that she needs. And it tastes freaking delicious.
Okay. I'm going to tell my daughter today. Thank you so very much, Hattie.
You're welcome, sis. I appreciate you. And Jennifer talked about high anxiety. That's a given in today's world. with the stress and the uncertainties. And erratic heartbeats, everybody's on what's the CPAP machines. The reality is, if you study an infant, an animal, don't matter, we all have erratic heartbeats. So the anxiety piece that causes more stress is a hormonal calcium piece. We can get on the other side of it. Once we start helping the body, just get itself back into balance, things start working the way it's designed to work. And this is your starting point. Getting rid of the foods that are offensive to the temple and just putting in the minerals. Healing is easy. It's not that stressful as long as we don't allow it to be. So Jennifer, definitely call me and we can talk some more. And I should just mention, because it seems like everybody's on the website, right? At the bottom of that page, there is a health evaluation. Take it. And a report will be sent to me and I'll just follow through. One of the things that we're going to do though is it okay to talk about this, Kenyofu, the offer?
Yeah, before you do that, there is, we're going to move into that soon. Teresa put a comment in the chat, which I think is worthy of addressing. And I would like for you to give me the two numbers that would be the winners so I can find them.
Oh, 2 and 7.
Okay, great. So Teresa says, she mentioned, let me write that down before I forget. All right. She mentioned, she says, you mentioned antibiotics. Do you recommend not taking them when prescribed for an infection?
You can't not take them unless you have something to replace them. And as far as I'm concerned, that is something that you need to speak to someone about before you just make that determination. However, yeah, so I would just recommend speaking with someone, speaking with myself or someone else before. But there are definitely things you could do to not take antibiotics. But sometimes antibiotics are necessary, depending on what's going on in the temple. Hopefully that answers.
Okay, thank you for that. So I have for the offer, actually, I'm going to the slide for your offer. Not sure where it begins, but I think this is it. Yeah, the winners are Adam and Laura.
Okay, so let me explain what this means. What I'm offering is, I'm offering because we're going to do this virtually, where you can go and take a health evaluation. It's a series of questions, about 100 of them, that was created by Dr. Joe Wallach. But it gives me a really good sense of what's going on in your temple in terms of your blood pressure, your joints, your heart, your ovaries. It gives me a very good sense of what's going on in your temple. And then it makes recommendations. But I'm also going to provide you with an hour-long consultation. So even though you take the evaluation, I want us to spend an hour together talking about you, what's going on with you. And then whatever we recommend is based on what the two of us have talked about. So congratulations. And that was Adam and
Laura, and we need to hear their voices of acceptance.
I'll accept it.
Ashe, Adam.
This is Laura. Is it Laura or Laura?
Laura, it's you. Laura Clark, you, lady, Miss Lady.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Hattie. Thank you.
Ashe.
Ashe.
All right.
So take the evaluation, go to my website, and everybody can take the evaluation. It's just that they're getting a free consultation, 1 hour consultation. So go to the website, take the evaluation, and yeah, as soon as I get it, I'll call you and we'll set up an appointment time to meet, okay?
And Hattie, so I don't want you to forget, you had mentioned to me about that the
Yes.
book, That Doctors Don't Lie.
On the website, I don't know if you can go back to that screen. If you can, it's all good. But on the website, there's an audio that Dr. Joe Wallach created. This audio has sold more than any of Michael Jackson's records, if you can believe it, right? This is the book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. This book teaches you how to do your own health examinations, how to find out if you have diabetes or high blood pressure or whatever. This book gives you a how to do. Everyone should have it. So we can stop running to the doctors and we can do it ourselves, because that's what they do. But on the next slide before this one, Angel, but on the website, there's an audio that's called Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And this is a discussion that Dr. Wallach is having with his audience after a presentation. So it takes up a lot of things like aging, pregnancy, because a lot of us are having difficulties getting pregnant, and women want to know, what can I do? How to get on the other side of cancer, diabetes, right? How to get on the other side of it, how to deal with heart disease, how to deal with arthritis, right? Alzheimer's, all of the questions that most of you raised today. You can go to my website, listen to this audio, and have a dialogue with Dr. Wallach in terms of him explaining in more detail these things. I think you will find it invaluable. So I just wanted to offer that to everyone here, to go to the website and just listen to it, okay? Thank you, Kenyofu, for reminding me.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, so we're moving on. Do you want to say something about this?
Let's do that. Let's thrive. The whole point of today's class session is to make us feel empowered. We have control in our own hands, right? God gave us a temple that is self-healing. It's a powerful piece of equipment. It's amazing what it does. Let me just share one story. Do I have time? Can y'all put about 5 minutes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I just want to show you how powerful this temple is, right? Pastor Friedman, he's a pastor in Maryland, got really ill. They rushed him to the hospital and they thought he was going to die. The doctor spent 3 months putting him in all kinds of chambers to lower his temperature, to raise his temperature up, flew him from one major hospital to another, attempting to save his life. His congregation prayed for him night and day. And after 3 months, the doctor was like, there's nothing else we could do. They took him and 13 other brothers. They put them off in a ward. They said they had some kind of swine flu or something they couldn't get a handle on. They told the nurses to stay out of the room because by dayfall, they'll all be dead. His wife was like, that's not an option, because I know God has not given up on my husband. So she reached out to Dr. Wallach. And she says, what can I do to save my husband's life? Dr. Wallach told her to put on her Pampers, to get these minerals, and to soak his body every 4 hours in these minerals. She could not leave the room once she got in. But the next morning, everyone was dead in that room, except for her husband. Except for her husband. All I know is it works. One of my clients had that flesh-eating disease and it was taking up her mother's legs. And I said, just pour those minerals in. Brothers and sisters, I don't know why it works. I just know it works. I've had people get off of dialysis because I know it works. Heart disease. Brothers and sisters, there's nothing we have to continue to live with. I know it works, which is why I dedicate my life to what I'm doing, because I know it works if we work it, right? These are our minerals that God put on the earth for us to help build our temples. We live in a world that is constantly bombarding us with stuff to weaken our temples. From the cell phones, right? The 5G radiation, the additives in the foods. We just got to be careful what we eat nowadays. Take our minerals, but we can thrive. We don't have to simply be about surviving. That's where we are right now, right? All of us is like, oh man, I'm surviving. No, we got to thrive, goddammit, because we got too much work to do, right? Life is awesome when you are well, right? Right? I just turned, no, not quite. I was gonna say I just turned 70, but I'm 69. And I feel better today than I've ever felt. Most importantly, I know that my best years are in front of me. My best years are in front of me. And that's what all of us can have, because we got too much to live for. Our best years are yet to come. And the Mighty 90 is a central part of that. Any more questions, sis?
Shay, that's all that's in the chat. It's like,
So let's thrive. And a big part of thriving is taking care of the body temple, put in it only what it needs, and getting rid of anything that hurts it. So if you want to have a consultation, you want to do some coaching with me, 773-704-6651. You can text me, that's preferably, or you can call me, or you can go to the website, and at the bottom of the page, there's the health evaluation. Take it, and it'll come to me. And I'll reach back out to you based on the results, okay? So thriving is all we want to do. Thrive. I need to make up a jingle, right? Woo! But this is about thriving. And we are in control of that. No one else. We are. So let's take back control of our lives. And let's start living life, right? Let's get some love up in here, right? Let's start living some life, being happy. So Adam and Laura, thank you for being our winners. And I seriously look forward to having a consultation with both of you and making it happen. And Wendy, Jennifer, Teresa, all of you, thank you for putting your voice in the space. Wendy, thank you for putting your voice in the space. And let's continue this dialogue, because this is just the beginning. We haven't even talked about COVID, right? We haven't talked about the vaccinations. One of the things I wanted to point out with the COVID, Dr. Wallach has done all these studies that shows us that gluten is at the key to the large numbers of people who are leaving the planet or getting sick from COVID. Because the nations that eat like Asians, Japan, Vietnam, they have hundreds of infections. The death rate is in 10s, 20s. Whereas the countries that are gluten, that's all they eat is pastas and pizzas and pancakes and all that kind of stuff. That's where you have the millions of infections and the thousands of deaths. So it's amazing how, you can look at the world and you can tell based on the low numbers who's eating like an Asian and who's not, who's eating gluten and who's not. So that's our starting point. Stop eating gluten. Anything you're dealing with, especially fibromyalgia, any of these autoimmune diseases. Stop eating gluten right now. And that by itself, within the first week, you're going to see tremendous results. Change. Stop eating gluten. Stop eating gluten, right? And the 12 bad foods is on my website too, but I also put the video in the chat. But stop eating the gluten. That's the first thing.
Because Hattie, so
information. I'm sorry, sis.
no apologies. This is great session, and obviously there's a part 2 in the works to be continued. Now I'm going to, it's 8:41, and I think this will be a great time for you to share your contact information. So that's
so as you can see on the screen, my website is my name, HattieM.com. That's the website. You can also email me at health@HattieM.com as well. Or you can call or text 773-704-6651. Okay? So I look forward to the calls, the texts, the emails. Visit the website. Tremendous amount of educational material there. Why minerals? What are the best foods to eat? The Dead Doctors Don't Lie audio. Weight loss, how to lose weight, how to, anything you want to know, how to keep from having bone surgery, having your knees and your hips and your shoulders replaced. So anything you want to know is on that site. So utilize it. That's what it's there for. And in the meantime, call me so we can consult. And whatever you're dealing with, let's get on the other side of it. Let's get on the other side of it. So I just want to thank each and every one of you for being in the space, putting your voices in the space, and I pray that it was valuable for you. So if there are any more questions, and can I also say that if there are any donations, right? Can I just give them back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that's
give them
what
back where?
To do.
Give them back where?
To Spirit of a Woman.
Oh, yeah, sure. So you can speak on why donate. So your slide is up here. This is how to donate, and then you can speak more on that as Spirit moves you.
Well, this is what I know to be true. The work that we do here is invaluable. It's invaluable. So I would love to see any love offerings that you may wish to bring my way, is to simply provide it to Spirit of a Woman so that we can do more of this. Because this is saving lives. This is saving lives, not just us individually, but this is saving our nation. So that's why I would love, if there's anything, if you were thinking of doing anything, to donate it to Spirit of a Woman so that we can keep this work going.
Let me help you out, Patty.
Yes.
Our offerings and donations, as you know, everyone knows, we consider finances here money, here my own energy, my own natural energy yield. So Hattie gave us a lot today. She gave us so much wealth of knowledge and information and makes herself available. So we're asking that you pour your love and your energy back into the community, because she's giving this donation to the community so that we can continue to grow. So we know the ways to do it is to email, send by Zelle or Quick Pay to soulleadershipdevelopment@gmail.com or by Cash App, $ Spirit of a Woman. And you can also just hit that link, https cash.me/cash.me/ Spirit of a Woman. So you can get it that way. And make sure to add the code number 368HM, # 368HM. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you. 368HM. Woohoo! Thank you, Angel. I appreciate you. And coming up, you're gonna do that? That's awesome.
Okay, yeah, sure. So coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, the 14th of July, is Xavier Beckwith. His topic is "So what, now what?" Well, that sounds like a challenge. And following that, on Thursday the 15th, is Solit. She's speaking on using the arts as a healing modality.
Ashe. See all this great stuff we got going on.
And if there are any new members out there, didn't quite notice any new names on this list, but maybe you're there and I didn't see it, put your name in the chat. Let us know that you're new so we can welcome you and you know, you are part of us. You're part of the Woo Nation. If you know someone that you would love to have in this space, definitely invite them. And if you're out there on Facebook and this is new for you, then acknowledge yourself out there on Facebook. We're here 5 days a week. Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday are our long days from 7 to 8:30, and Monday and Wednesday are our short days from 7 to 7:30. We're always Zooming live, and we also are streaming live on Facebook. What we would like for you to do is to stay, another way that you can stay in touch with us and to receive text messages to remind you to join us is to text text Woo Nation to 74121. So you would put Woo Nation in the comment, and then you would put 74121 where you would put your telephone number or the person's name. Put the telephone number that is going to, or the person's name. So you're texting Woo Nation to the number 74121.
Sure.
Here at bit.ly/, you can see what Woo swag we have. This is a representation, sweatshirts, t-shirts, a mug, and mask. And there will be more to come. Stay tuned, keep checking in, get your swag to represent. And we ask you to stay in touch. You definitely need to register every week so that you can receive the emails knowing who's coming up next, and that comes along with the Zoom link. So if you shared this session or any session with someone by giving them the Zoom link, also give them the opportunity to register for themselves so that they can be in their own agency and be present in their own right. We're here on Facebook also, so you can sign up for Facebook if you're not already a member of the group. bit.ly/Woo Community is what you would type into your browser, and then fill out some questions and answer some questions, and then be accepted into the group. We're on Instagram and YouTube, and we also have email, and invite you to send a message or a comment or question. info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. And right now, I'm going to ask everybody to unmute and let Hattie know how much you appreciate her. This was a great session.
Thank you, Hattie, for putting the work.
Thank you on us, Hattie.
Grateful.
You rock, Miss Hattie.
Oh
Oh my
goodness.
God.
I hope everyone has a
This is
wonderful
like-
day.
Thank you so
This
much.
is for
I'm going to
everybody.
try that. I'm going to try that mineral. And see
Right.
that's what
Been looking for my email,
Thank you,
Hattie.
thank
I'll
you,
definitely
Miss
get
Hattie.
it. Great
Wait.
consultation.
Speak
Definitely
with
going
you,
to
facilitator
consult
for
with you,
Brilliant
Thank
and
you, thank you
Much,
for
Hattie.
not just
your
for
knowledge.
me, but
delivered
for my
valuable information. So
grandson.
thank you so
Thank
much.
Wonderful
Thank
session.
Yes, for
Thank
being
you.
willing to do
Thank
that.
you.
I
Thank you
asked
so
and the universe answered.
I will be in
Oh my goodness.
touch.
Thank you so much. That was a very powerful
Thank
session.
Thank you so
Absolutely
much.
appreciated it. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Dr. Hattie. Oh, you're wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Check
Thank
your email. I already
Thank
emailed you.
Thank you. I
Thank
just
you
so
much.